Guys, in this video we are going to talk about a major problem faced in auto body and painting. And the problem is, friends, is frying. Yes guys, you can even call it burn, paint burn. Now what is this frying or burn? Now guys, achieving a flawless finish is an art and science. No matter how good preparation you do, issues can occur. Issues such as this frying, burn. This is a common problem guys, which can disrupt your painting process. Now some guys who are in this business for a long time will already know this thing called frying. But those of you who are just starting out, who have not yet started to spray the paints, then when you face this problem guys, you are going to get confused and you are going to feel frustrated. So learn about it properly now only. So for them, let's understand frying first. It's like when you apply the primer or the paint, when you apply the first coat, it starts to wrinkle. Yes guys. And shapes like this will start to come. It's like the burning guys. You will feel that there is an earthquake on your surface. It forms a rough texture like this. And this happens sometimes when you just spray the coat, or sometimes it happens after some time. This surface usually represents like fried food. That's why we call it frying. Now there are many reasons why this can occur guys. Some of the reasons are improper preparation, incompatibility between layers, or not given proper drying time, and many more guys. Guys, before we move forward, let me share my experience when I faced frying for the first time, what I did, what happened to me. I would like to share that with you guys. So what I did was I was done with all the preparation work. I sanded the surface, I filled it up with body filler, and I was done doing my preparation guys. I was very confident about it. Then I prepared my primer with a reducer and a primer mixture. I poured that into my spray gun cup and I was all set to spray the primer guys. I wiped the surface down with a wax and grease remover and immediately I did not waste any time guys. I started to spray the primer. The moment I started to spray the primer guys, some of the spots started to wrinkle up. It started to fry like this. And instead of me getting a nice and smooth pro-like finish, I ended up getting this. And I got frustrated guys. And more than that, I was confused as what is this? I thought that I did not prepare the surface well and these scratches were there on the surface from first only. But then I realized that it was kind of flaky, so it was like coming out. So once this happened to me, I started to investigate on it guys. I was part of auto body and painting community, so I posted my question there. Some of them knew the problem, some of them didn't know the problem, and side by side I also did my research guys. And through my research I found out that there are many reasons because of which this can occur. So once I was done with my research, with my answers through the community, I started to observe my paint job guys. And when I observed my paint job guys, I saw that this frying had occurred only in some spots and not on the entire surface. So as I was observing the spots, I figured out that on those spots, stickers were there. So let's write down the observations guys. So the first observation that I did was, I saw that this frying had occurred where the stickers were there. Yes guys. But I had cleaned the adhesive, I had cleaned it with a dishwash soap and it was thoroughly clean, and I had applied a little bit amount of putty as well there to cover it up guys. But on those spots stickers were there. That was my first observation. The second observation that I did was I had applied putty on all those spots. So the second observation, putty was present on those spots. So I had applied a very cheap putty there guys. It was very cheap putty. Then the next thing that I remembered was I had applied a very thick coat of the first coat of primer guys. Now since I knew that through my research, I found out that the first coat should never be the thick coat. But I had applied a very thick coat on top of it guys. So that was my third observation. I had applied a thick coat. Now the fourth observation guys was that the primer that I used was a very cheap primer. Used a local quality primer. Yes guys, it was a local quality primer guys, in which you add reducer. And the reducer which you add in the primer guys plays a very important role to get this frying. Because as I went on to become an expert in this, I started using expensive products like the 2K primer. And in the 2K primer guys, the reducer doesn't go. There is only an activator. You just add the activator to the primer and you can start to spray. But one day it so happened that I was falling short of the 2K primer. So I added a little bit amount of reducer and the activator to the mixture just to increase the quantity. And guess what guys, frying occurred. On that I came to know guys that this reducer plays a very important role to get the frying. That's why now I don't recommend this local quality primers anymore guys. I only recommend 2K primer because I have worked with it. I've got amazing results with it. I've got pro finishes with it and it is very good to deal with. With that, let's move on to the fifth observation that I did guys. The fifth observation that I did was once I wiped the surface down with the wax and grease remover, I did not allow it to dry completely. So drying time, yes guys, I did not allow the wax and grease remover to dry because in those spots putty was there and this putty absorbs this wax and grease remover guys, and it takes a little bit more time to dry. It dries up but it takes time. That's why in my videos I always tell you guys that allow the wax and grease remover to dry completely, otherwise it can react with the reducer in the primer and it can give you the frying. Yes guys. So guys, these were my observations. Now how I resolved the issue guys, how I resolved it. First of all guys, I did not want it to use an expensive primer because the surface on which I was applying the paint was a fiber body. Even if I did not paint the surface, then there was no problem. Rust would not come, but it would not look good. That's why I was painting it. So I had a very low budget guys. That's why I wanted to use the same primer. So again I sanded the surface down. I made the surface flat. I put some putty in it. Again I sanded it flat and now my surface was ready to apply the primer. Again I washed it with a dishwash soap guys, so that I wanted the surface absolutely clean. But this time I changed my spraying technique. What I did was I sprayed a light mist of primer as my first coat. Nothing happened. I let it dry for some time and then I applied another light mist coat. Nothing happened. I allowed it to dry and then I applied the third coat as the thick coat and nothing happened, and like this I covered the entire area well. So guys, what are the lessons to be learned in this process? When you do a mistake like this guys, you will get to learn a lots of things. So what are the lessons learned? So the first lesson that I learned is always use good products guys. Good products. Yes guys, use products which are compatible with the paint which is there on the surface already. If you fall in the trap of using low quality products guys, you will feel that they are cheap, but as you progress in your paint job, your material will get wasted like this guys, and you will have to use the better products anyway. So always use good quality products. The second lesson that I learned from this experience was patience. Yes guys, patience for drying time. Yes guys, drying time means once you finish one coat, it is not that immediately you have to apply the second coat. There is something called as a flash time guys. You have to wait for that flash time to pass by till you spray the second coat. So to wait between those coats, you need to have patience guys. So that was my second lesson to be learned. Moving on to the third lesson that I learned. And the third lesson is guys, the application technique is not always the same. Yes guys, spraying technique can change. Just because I am telling you guys set this PSI, set this spray pattern and set this fan width, it doesn't mean you have to do it all the time. Sometimes situations arise like this where you have to adjust them according to the situation. Here I had to reduce my fluid flow to almost nothing. So like this guys, according to the situation, you will have to adjust your spray gun. And the fourth lesson that I learned guys, the fourth lesson is prepare surface well. Yes guys, is the utmost important preparing the surface. Because if you don't prepare the surface well, immediately this type of things can happen guys. If there is dirt, grease, grime on the surface And if you apply your primer on top of it, then it will not get a good hold in the first place. And if there is even a tiny silicone residue on the surface, guys, you can get fish eyes, which can completely ruin your paint job, guys. So cleaning the surface should be the utmost important, because the more good preparation you do, there are less chances for you to ruin the paint job. So like this, guys, if you want to learn Autobody and painting seriously, if you want to know the flash time between the coats, if you want to know the mixing ratios, how to mix the paints, how to apply the primer, what is the flash time, and all these things, guys, then I have created a step-by-step course on it. So if you are interested to learn Autobody and painting as a hobby, or if you want to build your career in it, or if you want to start your own business with it, then waste no more time, guys. Go down below and get yourself enrolled. And I will see you guys on the inside. Now guys, once I did all of this, I started to get amazing results. And the frying turned out to be a valuable learning experience to me. I improved my approach and I got better understanding of the material and the process, guys. So the conclusion, guys, frying in Autobody and painting can be challenging, can be frustrating, and can be confusing as well. But it is a fixable problem. Understand and observe your paint job where you have done it wrong, guys, and then implement the correct techniques. And always take time to research and be a student for lifetime, guys. Never stop learning. And guys, if you found this particular video useful, then see that you like and share with your friends and family. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, then see that you subscribe to my channel and press that bell icon so that you will not miss any of my future videos. Till then, this is Resolveg signing out until we meet again.